Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Forget everything you've been told about long-term food storage. When all hell breaks loose, you'll need the single most effective way to get high-powered Delta Force nutrients to your family fast. Like any Special Forces commando, you need a plan. You need a Black Hawk Down food plan. Introducing the Survival Sprout Bank from Solutions from Science. It's your countertop survival garden. Yes, grow fresh greens right on your countertop in just a few short days. Sprouts are the green shoots that emerge from newly germinated seeds, and they are powerhouses of living, easily absorbed nutrients. The Survival Sprout Bank is a complete kit with nothing else to buy. And with sprouts so easy to grow, even children can grow emergency food. Call 877-327-0365 or go to survivalsproutbank.com. That's 877-327-0365 or order online at survivalsproutbank.com. Survival Sprout Bank, your Black Hawk Down emergency food plan.
We are on the march. The Empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, it's a final live segment. Got a red pill, the ultimate red pill video. We haven't aired in about 6 months coming up. I think I've only played it one other time here live on air. It's a remix of my rant in the film Waking Life. But a final segment with Lindsey Williams, always incredible information. We're going back to him in a few final calls here in a moment. First, I want to talk about the great folks at Stansberry Research who have an amazing video, endofamerica3.com. And, of course, you know for more than 2 years they've been predicting that this would be the year when the dollar is depegged as the world reserve currency. They've been saying this for a long time before Hu Jintao announced it. But you can see it all being set up. They've got a free video. It's got a lot of excellent information. endofamerica3.com, endofamerica3.com. So check that out, endofamerica3.com. And finally, Pure Water Freedom. I want to tell you about purewaterfreedom.com. If you want to affordably remove fluoride from your tap water, visit purewaterfreedom.com. They have a full line of household fluoride filters. You can even remove fluoride from every water source in your home with a whole house fluoride system. They have a wide variety of filters to remove all types of toxins from your water, including shower and bath filters. All their filters are made in the USA. I know that's seen as treasonous. I'm not even joking. Homeland Security, hates anybody that cares about freedom in this country. The government is there to destroy America. But anyways, the filters are made here in the U.S. So check out the banners on Prison Planet and InfoWars or go to purewaterfreedom.com to take control of your water supply today. The government now admits fluoride is hurting children, but they're still going to put it in the water. Okay. Final phone calls here with Lindsey Williams. Again, we really appreciate Lindsey joining us. Who's up next here, John? All right, I'm going to rampage through 4 calls, and we got to go. And some quick questions or comments. Appreciate them holding. Nancy, Angela, Lee, and Felix, that'll be it. Nancy, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Lindsey. I just have a question for you, Lindsey. If your elite friends are giving you all this information, then they must want it to be made public. Is that correct? And if they do, which side are they on? Are they on the elite side or are they on the people side?
You are correct in your supposition. One of the things I learned when I lived with the elite was that they have a code of ethics, and one of the facets of that code of ethics is they must tell the world everything they're going to do before they do it. They know the coverage that Alex Jones has. They know I'm on Alex Jones' show on a regular basis. They listen to Alex.
It's voodoo.
And
let me just interrupt, Lindsey.
I'm saying, much of this, they feel a moral obligation, according to their moral code. They feel an obligation to get this out, but the world is the only thing I can understand. And then they'll turn around later and say, we told you so, why didn't you listen?
No, exactly. That's why 8 years ago, the outgoing head of the Federal Reserve, he wasn't even outgoing then. Greenspan kept talking about irrational exuberance. When he'd gotten rid of Glass-Steagall, when he was the author of so much that happened. He was an anti-New World Order, pro-gold and silver guy in the 70s and was very popular and hung out with Ayn Rand and, the Ron Paul type crew, and he sold out to the dark side. And here's the deal. It's the vampire code. I'm not saying they're literal vampires. They're psychic vampires. A vampire must trick you to invite them into your house. So they'll show up, not bearing their fangs at night, and knock and say, I'm a neighbor. Mind if I come in? And you've got to say, you are welcome. Or the vampire in mythology all over the world, this archetypal, and they use allegories for these archetypal things to explain it to people. But whether it was Greece or Japan or the Mesoamerican Mayan culture, the vampires always came and said, do you invite me into your home? Am I invited? And it's a trick, but they've got to do it. It's like their religion, and you've got to say, yes, you are invited. Once you've let them in, and it's a spiritual thing. It's like Lindsey said, we've let the spirit of China in. We've underwritten it. We've confirmed it. We will now go under it. We will now live as they do. Once you submit to something, once you join with it, it's kind of like Saruman in Lord of the Rings is saying, we must join Gandalf with Mordor. It is, the new age is upon us. And he says, since when did Saruman the Wise, give up reason for madness? And that's what this is. They are all over the news. We must join with authoritarianism. It's good. We must join with the torture. And so a lot of these people, too, even though they've been high-powered, they still are dual. They don't like what's happening, but they like the power, plus they're in it to survive and win. I'm sorry, I'm going wild here, but, explaining their psychology. And so they enjoy it. It's an entertainment for them, like a cat has a mouse playing with it before it eats it. But they also believe almost in like a demonic chivalry. And what do they do in chivalry? They say, on guard. On guard, on guard, on guard, I'm about to attack you. On guard. And so they're saying, on guard, we're going to set up world government and kill you. On guard, here's all the Rockefeller foundations. We're putting poisons in your vaccines. On guard. And then they say, look at these idiots. We tell them we're killing them, and they still won't stand up and fight. They want to die. They are profane. And then elitists call me and say, off record, can we talk? And I'm a journalist, a person. I don't, betray confidence unless it was of a specific crime. Then I would have to. And they say, Alex, the general public wants to be slaves. Don't you understand? You have to join with the New World Order because we understand that. We're moral. We actually work together. The profane, they don't. This is all Illuminati type stuff, folks.
Alex, you're exactly right. I lived with these people for 3 years, and it took me 3 years' time to even comprehend the mindset of these people. And I wrote 3 books trying my best to help the American people understand the mindset of the elite. It's very difficult for the average person to understand that there could be somebody so diabolically wicked that they would control nations and currencies and tell OPEC what to do and tell the president what bills to put through in Congress. But they do. People, please believe what you're hearing Alex say right now. I lived with these people, stayed in the dorms with them, sat across the dinner table from them, and everything you just heard Alex Jones say is true.
Well, Lindsey, we better get to a few more calls. I wish it wasn't true. But it is. Reality is reality. Thank you, Nancy. Hope that answers your question. Angela in Louisiana, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi. Yes, I'm calling with a couple of questions. My first one is for the currency. When the currency is going to crash before the new world currency comes in, will our currency, anyways devalued, we will be able to purchase this new currency with our dollar?
They're going to continue to slowly devalue it over and over again until they offer a new currency as a way to get out of the old currency that's been wrecked. And they're starting to say they're going to blame it on a false flag internet attack as if it all happened overnight and tyranny will protect us from this ever happening again. And we'll still have dollars. They'll just be denominated and controlled by the IMF, World Bank, OECD as the new Bancor, which is a digital currency transcending the nation. Now will be fully beholden to the offshore central banks. Lindsey Williams.
The only way that you can maintain the purchasing power over your present currency is to buy gold and silver today, immediately. You should have bought it 2 years ago. But if you didn't, you got to go down and get it. Right this minute, listen to who advertises on Alex programs and buy from them. Why? Because I have been told, and I'm telling it to you, you can take that gold and silver. It'll have the same purchasing power, the same value, Even though gold and silver is going to go up $3,000-$4,000 an ounce, silver is going to go up to $40, $50, $60 an ounce, but yet you can turn around and trade that for the new currency, whatever it may be, world or whatever it may be, and maintain your same purchasing power, and that is the only thing you can do it with. Your dollar is going to devalue so rapidly from this point on, you are going to be startled.
Well, Lindsey, that's what's so frustrating about this is that I get emails every day going, why do you want me to go to Midas Resources and buy gold and silver if my Federal Reserve notes are so worthless? And then they giggle like they've made some big point. It's like a 2-year-old, you know, being able to say the letter A and being proud of it. But it's not cute because they're even wrong. It's like a 2-year-old looking at the letter A and saying it's the letter C or the letter Z. They don't understand. Obviously, the currency as it's devalued that's then manifested by the gold and silver going up in the overall price, not because it's gone up, but because the currency has now gone down. And so by
this past week, 6 cents out of every dollar at the gas pump. You lost $3 last week on toilet tissue at the grocery store. I know I went to buy it. It had gone up $3.
No, the inflation's accelerating.
The only thing that changed was the purchasing power of the currency. You lost 3 cents at the gas pump. You lost $3 in the grocery store.
No, I know, but Lindsey, it's like they're under a trance. Just finishing this simple point, you just made it beautifully, but to quantify it, because I see this so much, and I'll see it on YouTube, and people try to explain it to them, and they just don't get it. We take the Federal Reserve notes, Midas Resources does, buys gold at whatever price it is, and then with any little meager profits, run the network, or with profits, buy gold for ourselves and silver. I mean, that's what I do. You know, as my emergency backup. I only promote what I believe in. But these people think, why do you want my Federal Reserve notes if they're not worth anything? That's still the global currency. So you take that and you buy gold and silver for yourself. And then as the currency's devalued, your gold and silver will reflect whatever the new currency's value is. And so it freezes the value of the labor you put in to get the energy credit symbols that are those Federal Reserve notes. Now you're putting it into a real commodity that transcends the fractional reserve banking system, so that now you are freezing your wealth against inflation. It may actually go up, may go down a little, but overall, it's freezing it. And I don't understand how people can't understand this, Lindsey. I mean, it's almost like they're under a spell. I have family. I have family that, and I want you to comment on this, who I told 10 years ago, buy gold and silver. They laughed at me. When silver was $5, gold was $260. I have family that when it was $500, they laughed at me. When it was $800, they laughed. When it was $1,000, when it's $1,400, they cannot buy it. They must do what the stockbroker says. They must lose money. It's like being an idiot. They see it as a cloak of power. Being conned is the smart thing to do. Can you? I mean, is that just given over to delusion?
No, they are obsessed with the stockbroker and with Wall Street and what the national media says to them. Listen to me. Abraham trusted in gold and silver. Moses trusted in gold and silver. If you're a Christian, go to your Bible and see what the streets of heaven are paved with. For goodness sakes, look where God's value is. It's definitely not in Federal Reserve notes and pieces of paper. And I'll say it over and over and over. Every time Alex lets me on his show, I'll probably say it. If it's written on a piece of paper, it's worth the paper it's written on.
All right. Anything else, Angela? We got to go here in just a minute, and I appreciate you calling. Anything else?
I just wanted to know if Lindsey had any new information. I live on the Gulf Coast in South Louisiana. If he heard anything more about the Gulf.
Okay.
We don't know if it's still spilling.
Okay. There's all sorts of leaks still down there. They fractured the ocean floor. Correct, Lindsey? They're just covering it up.
Yeah, they did fracture the ocean floor, and the core exit is the most dangerous part. And in a lifetime, we'll never get away from the danger that's been done by it. And yes, there's still a lot of information coming out. It's just that they have shut up on the media talking about it whatsoever. But yeah, still there.
All right, got to move quick here. Real fast. Lee in Kentucky, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Brother, how you doing?
Good.
I got a quick statement and a quick question. My statement is, as a veteran myself, I just want to say that I feel very betrayed by my country. First-time caller. Been listening to your program for about 2 years.
Lee, it's not your country. It's been taken over by foreign banks, and the Chinese are their muscle men that they've brought in to be our owners.
Well, you're exactly right, and I want to salute you for serving on the front line and fighting this battle for us for so long, and my prayers will be with you.